Our next session of presentation includes the topic Digitization Opportunities for MSMEs. For that, I would like to invite Harish Narayanan, CMO and CDO, HDFC Asset Management Company Limited, and Harish Tibrewala, CEO, Anhad Consultancy Services, to kindly join us on the days.
It's a pleasure. We have Harish and Harish to share with you what we can do on digitization. I'm Harish Narayanan. I lead the marketing and digital teams at HDFC AMC. I'll just quickly share a bit about my journey, and then Harish has very kindly put together a beautiful presentation where we'll talk about a lot of things and we'll share our examples and experiences of what is possible. The reason why I want to share a bit about where I come from is you'll understand once I share. So I started my career in Procter & Gamble, and then I spent 6 years in Google, and then 3 years in Myntra, where I was the CMO, and then a year at Upstocks, where I was the Chief Growth Officer, and now I handle marketing and digitization, AI, and everything to do with technology at HDFC AMC. Now the reason why I'm sharing this is, in a way I come from the other side, where digital is a given, right? Everything is digital. And kindly, I was invited by Sandeep sir to be the chair of the digitization committee for the Bombay Chambers. So that's the context. Now, why we are here? We are here because we believe that digitization can be a superpower for each and every one of you, right? How much of you believe, know that you are already digital first? In this audience? Okay, great. There's one gentleman here. How many of you believe that you are on the path of digitization and you are already in the flow? Okay, about half the room. How many of you feel that you are yet to get started on this journey? Okay, great, wonderful. So there is obviously interest. What we want to do today is the following, right? One is set the context of what digital can do for you. Second, what can the digitization committee of Bombay Chambers do for you, so that this becomes the foundation of all the activities we do for the rest of the year, right? So if this interests you, then sign up, be in touch with us, and make sure that we attend all the sessions that we do in the future. Sounds like a plan? Yes? Is it breakfast nahi diye kya humne sabko? Yes? Sounds like a plan? Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So there's a very popular, I would say, investor, but also in a way philosopher in the West, right? His name is Naval Ravikant. He's a founder of AngelList, a billionaire, early investor in Twitter, Uber, and so on. He talks about leverage. Okay, what is leverage? If I have 1 hour of time in my day and I can do certain things, if I have leverage, then I can multiply that 1 hour into 10 hours, 100 hours, 1,000 hours. Okay? He talks about a few forms of leverage. Okay? First one is capital. Yes, you would know this very well, right? If we have money, then we can amplify our time. How? By hiring people, which is the second form of leverage, which is human capital, people. So if you want to do a certain activity, you do it yourself. It takes time. You hire people and it becomes much easier. This is the second form of leverage. The two other forms of leverage are media and code. I'll repeat that. The two other forms of leverage are media and code. What does he mean by that? Ek zamana tha, jab if we had to create a marketing plan, if you had to put out a campaign, you will have to spend 2 crores creating a film, and then you have to go talk to a TV channel and pay them 10 lakhs per spot, and you have to do this, have a 25 crore budget to have a marketing campaign. Today, all you need is this, right? All you need is this. You can create a YouTube channel, you can become an Instagram influencer, you can spend 0 rupees and have a brand. The world has changed dramatically because of the leverage of this thing called media, and the media is in our hands, right? We have better cameras, we have better connectivity, we have better social media channels than the best filmmakers, advertisers had 20 years ago. This is in our pocket. The last bit of leverage is an infinite leverage. It is the leverage of code. Now, what do I mean by this? It doesn't have to be that you know how to code, right? आपको जाके Python और C++ सीखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. The starting point is leveraging what AI can do, what digital platforms which are already available for you can do, and how we take these two leverages and scale your business. Imagine you had 100 people working for you day and night while you sleep, and they will never get tired, they will never ask you for more money, and they will always deliver great results, right? This is the power of good digital leverage. So if this sounds exciting, if you want to have a great marketing plan, a great team of people working for you day and night, and if you want to leverage the power of technology, then this could be a great starting point. We are just laying out the landscape, so to say. We are just sharing what is possible. And if this interests you, then please stay connected with the Digitization Committee of the Chambers. We have an amazing set of evangelists, I would say, in Pinky Ma'am and Sandeep sir. And we want to unlock, as a committee, as a team, as a community, we want to unlock the power of digital for MSMEs and for the country. So that's the starting point. This is step one. Hopefully you find this useful. Over to you, Harish ji.
Thank you, Harish. Both of us share the common first name. So we'll also share this presentation. As I keep on rolling the slides, we'll both talk about the slides. Very quickly, a bit about myself. I've been a serial entrepreneur. My last business was a digital agency, one of India's largest digital agency, which I sold to WPP a couple of years back. Now I'm on to my fourth venture. Plus, I also advise corporates on digital strategy and information technology. Earlier in the day, you learned how to get capital into the company. You can take a loan from Bank of Baroda, SVC, Union Bank, ably supported by the Credit Guarantee Corporation. I will help you spend the money. How to spend the money is what I will tell you what to do. So let's look at what digital can do for MSME sector very specifically, and I will talk of 6 very specific things. One is on marketing, second is e-commerce, third is cloud computing, fourth is digital public goods, manufacturing, as well as new age technologies. And we'll quickly go through each of these various bullet items. Marketing, digital creates a level playing field for small organizations. If I'm a big organization, like Harish said, you can afford to put a large ad in a paper, you can put an ad on television, you can spend lakhs of rupees. But if I'm a small person, I don't have access to that kind of marketing. Digital provides you access to platforms like Google and Facebook. And in front of Google and Facebook, whether you're a small guy or a big guy, you are treated absolutely the same. So digital actually creates a huge level platform as far as MSME sector is concerned. And we all need to learn how to use the power of that platform. The most important thing is to have a great website, websites are 25 years old. And I'm shocked even today when I see websites of companies, it is hard to find information within the website. It is so deeply buried. They are using some 20-year-old navigation and UX, UI, and the first page will talk about the chairman's speech. As a customer, I'm not concerned about your chairman and his speech. Talk to me about solutions and products that I can use. We spend crores of rupees and lakhs of rupees building an office. We don't want to spend the same amount of money building a website. A website is your office on the internet. Your digital customer will never come to your physical office. He's going to judge you by your website. Is it good? Is it pleasing? The aesthetics, everything. So you need to invest on building a good website. And Harish, please keep jumping in wherever.
Yeah, sure. I was going to talk about, there are lots of companies which feel that website is a brochure. It's your let's give all the information that we have and everything should be on the website. But the internet usually has a very short attention span, right? We all feel that, right? When you open Instagram, before 30 seconds, if it is not interesting, we are swiping. So good rule of thumb for anything on website or content or social media is you have to be thumb stopping. It has to stop your thumb. You have to stop your thumb. And how to do that? You follow the framework of hook and then a setup and a payoff. In a YouTube context, this is done by doing a nice thumbnail and then setting up the first 30 seconds as a very interesting, oh my God, what's going to happen in this video? Right? If you see the video, it will say, you wait until the end, right? You will not believe this, shocking reveal. So we don't need to be clickbaity like that, but these three, the framework of hook, setup and payoff, it helps a lot. Same thing applies for website. If I'm a user that has come to your website, I've come through something, right? I have searched for some problem on Google. So for example, in this case, I want a CRM. Then if I get to a web page, it should immediately answer the question I'm looking for. That is the hook. You got the hook by the title and the first scroll, right? Then after the first scroll, you can get into things like what are the details, which is the setup. And then you get into details of solutions if you have hooked the user well enough. So if you follow this framework, whether it's a website, whether it's a piece of content, whatever you're doing, think of how to grab the attention in first 5 seconds, how to deliver a setup that will get them more interested. And then once they are interested, you can give them a lot more information.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just pulled out an example of a site that to me appears to be a good website. It's a company called Salesforce. They sell software. But on the homepage, you don't see software. You know, you're seeing nice human imagery, a good range of colors. It's attractive for you to engage. And what I wanted to specifically see is the way the menu is presented. There are lots of services and solutions. You know, they're not making you go through 20 links to find what you look for. You can search by product, by category, by your job role, by designation. They're making it so easy for a user to reach the information the user is looking for. The second is Google. You know, Google represents intent. When do we go to Google? When we are ready to action out something. I want to travel, I want a flight. I want a recruitment agency. I want to buy a piece of machinery. I want to buy a car. Google is capturing intent in the marketing funnel. So when your customer is ready to look for you, that customer will go to Google and start typing. You need to be sure that you're getting properly indexed on Google. And there are two ways of getting indexed on Google. One, of course, is your search engine optimization, which puts you on the main screen of Google, or by running Google Ads, which is called as search engine marketing. Google Ads are very easy to run. You know, by the time we have lunch here, you can actually start a new campaign on Google in that 20, 30, 40 minutes. So be sure you have a good website and you're running Google Ads as well as content is getting indexed on the search engine.
How many of you are running ads on Google?
Yep, some of them.
Okay, so this is an interesting observation. I just want to add to Harishji's point. Imagine, and he spoke about intent, but I want to underscore the importance of intent. When you advertise, if you advertise on television, right? If you advertise on the newspaper, if you send a pamphlet, you are talking to people who are interested in you. You are also talking to people who are not interested in you, right? It's like standing on a rooftop with a big megaphone and shouting, "Please, mera product kharidne ke liye aa jao." Right? Please come to my store. Please come to my business. In Google, the person is telling you, hey, I am interested in buying a camera. Hey, I am interested in buying a house. Hey, I am interested in learning more about this business. It is intent expressed. 20 years ago, advertisers couldn't dream of a situation where the customer is telling you, hey, I'm interested in a particular thing. Impossible. Today, it is the day-to-day. Every day it's available, and it is available whether you have 1,000 rupees or 10 crore rupees. You can advertise on that platform where intent is available. So what I would highly recommend you to do is to think about how when somebody is asking for your category, your product, your business, you are not present. And it is very, like I said, it's so easy to enter the field because there is very low entry barrier. You can set up a Google account, ads account today. You can start spending money in half an hour. You can start seeing results in 2 hours. It is that simple. So I would highly urge you, there is a Google platform called Skillshare. Skillshare, it's free. The entire training is free. It's by Google. Everybody, each and every one of you can learn how to run Google Ads. Or get an intern or a marketing person in your team to learn how to run Google Ads. The entire training is free. You can get certified. And you can start within a day. So I would highly urge, next time we meet here, when I ask the same question, I wish to see everybody's hand go up.
Absolutely. So first was having a great website. Second is running ads on Google. Third is setting up a LinkedIn presence. You know, your company must have a LinkedIn presence. LinkedIn allows you to put a lot of content about yourself, your case study, videos, etc. And similarly, senior people in your organization must have a very robust LinkedIn profile. Today, before I go to any meeting, I go and see the LinkedIn profile of the person to get an understanding of that person's stature. What is the stature? So it's very important you have a LinkedIn presence for your organization as well as for senior members of your organization.
How many of us are on LinkedIn posting regularly? One post, more than one post a week?
Quite a few.
Okay. That number has to be everybody, right? It's like creating your own personal brand, right? Sir, I definitely want to talk to you later because you have raised a hand for everything that I've asked. I'm very happy to hear. Maybe you should share your case study to the rest of us. But think of it this way. Your personal brand, you are a CEO, you are a founder, you are a company owner, and nobody knows about you. One of my managers, who's a dear friend, he used to ask, I was like you, right? I would do the work quietly, never talk about my own work, never represent myself. And then one day he asked me, अगर तुम खुद का brand नहीं बना सकते तो company का क्या brand बनाओगे? And it hit me, right? Oh yeah, that's true. If I can't become a brand as a leader, then how can I build my brand as a marketer? So that day I decided I have to get good at this game. And a lot of the opportunities that came my way, whether it's my current job or the friends I made or audiences like this where I've spoken at, all came because they found me on LinkedIn. मैंने आपका वो वाला आर्टिकल पढ़ा था, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, and then I found you. So don't take this lightly. It is almost like you can become a mini celebrity by just posting your work. There are 100 million people on LinkedIn. Somebody will like your field, your category, your area, and they will want to learn from you, right? So don't take it lightly. Next time we meet, everybody's hand has to go.
Yeah. And then LinkedIn also allows you great advertising opportunities. So like on Google, you can advertise based on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, you can advertise based on profile of people. You can target specific companies, specific designations, specific job roles, specific education background of people. So very huge targeting opportunities LinkedIn is offering if you want to do advertising on LinkedIn. And the fourth thing is content creation. So first was website, second Google, third LinkedIn, fourth is content creation. Digital works on content creation. Unlike mainline, where you can force someone to see your communication, either in print or TV, in digital you cannot force. You need to have interesting, exciting content. You can't just keep posting pictures about your products all the time. You need to build a story around it, and people engage with those stories. Here is a random example I picked up of Siemens, and they're selling something called smart parking solutions. I mean, like a really boring subject. But nowhere do they talk about their solutions. The way they do the creative, the way they do the storytelling is what you feel. Even if you don't want to buy smart parking, you actually want to see what are they talking about. So your storytelling has to be that good as far as any kind of these digital platforms is concerned. You want to add something? Okay. The second is e-commerce. In case of e-commerce, you can either do e-commerce on your own website or you can use one of the marketplaces. Okay. There are e-commerce platforms. There are generic platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, specialist platforms like Nykaa, etc. Depending on your product. There are also B2B platforms. There are IndiaMart and Udaan, and there's a platform for the construction sector, and there is a platform for the fiber sector. Most of these sectors are some kind of a platform available where you can start selling your products. Even if you're in the B2B business on your own website, you can set up a shopping cart where people may not necessarily buy the product. They can select products and send it to you for an inquiry or for a quotation. So this whole e-commerce thing works very well, both for B2B as well as for B2C. Advantages of on your own website is you need to invest in the software like a Shopify or a Magento or something. You need to make an investment. If you go to a marketplace, that investment is not there. They have the back-end logistics, payment gateway, everything set up. You just need to upload your product. The reverse is that they will charge you a commission. They have a platform. It's like going to a mall. Mall is set up, dukaan kholo, chalu karo. You don't need to worry about the bathroom and air conditioning. So either you go to a marketplace or try to do on your own. But both the options are possible. The government of India has come up with a brilliant initiative called ONDC. It's the first of its kind in the world, where government is creating a platform where as buyers and sellers, we can use the platform and continue owning the data. The biggest asset of Amazon or Flipkart is that they own data. Who's selling what to whom? They don't share the data with anybody. That's their biggest asset. In case of ONDC, buyer and seller have access to their own information. I will not get into details of ONDC, but it's a very strong, good emerging platform. The third thing is cloud computing. All of us use Gmail, right? And we hardly pay any cost for using Gmail. It's such a huge, powerful software. If we had to build the software, we'll be investing billions of dollars on building the software. But at a fraction of a cost, we're able to get the full power of Gmail. Similar kind of solutions are available almost in every area of business, whether it's human resource management or finance and accounting or CRM or project management or workflow. All these software, world-class enterprise-level software available for use on cloud at a very, very nominal fee. So don't try to build your own software, don't try to implement the software, use one of the standard platforms and try to computerize the entire organization using these software. Some names of these softwares are Zoho, Zendex, Bittrex, go and explore them. So cloud brings efficiency to whatever you are doing without having to build the software, just configure and start using it. All of us have started using things like Teams and Zoom and stuff like that for video calling. So the cost of the solution is very less, but the benefit cloud computing can bring is huge. Typically, what the screenshot of Zoho looks like. I mean, look at that. They have CRM, sales management, route management, bookings, forms, everything out there. Okay. I mean, you can computerize this. This is a cloud solution built for an electrical good manufacturer. We're using an off-the-shelf solution. The challenge with this person was that you are a distributor, you have lots of channel partners, somebody has to go and visit all of them, and the complaint he would get is that I am not being serviced from the channel partners. Using a simple solution on the app, which now sits on the phone of every salesperson, it can actually track, has the person actually visited those stores or not, using GPS tracking. When the person is standing at the store, he can start the app and take the order from the dealer right there itself. Ensures the right SKU, right product, right information is getting sent. He can also check if any payment is pending and immediately get the information. All of it happening using cloud solutions. You don't need to build all of it. So you can see the kind of efficiency it can bring to business, both top line and bottom line, by using these kind of solutions. Another example of a cloud solution like True Sales, sales, marketing, retail, research, so many things getting covered.
Okay, can I just add here? If you can go back to the Zoho slide. Thank you. Does everyone understand what cloud means? Understand cloud? Okay. For the rest of you, just to clarify, cloud, if you hear the word cloud, just think somebody else's computer. Somebody else's large, humongous, big computer sitting somewhere. Okay? So Google Cloud is Google's huge data center sitting somewhere in the world. Okay? Amazon AWS, Amazon Web Services, some huge Amazon computer sitting somewhere. What cloud services do is, there was a time when if you needed a sales software, you have to download the software, install it in your computer, then install it in everybody's phone, then update it every second, every month, every year, pay more. All that is gone, right? So now what it means is there is one central web-based platform, for example, Zoho.com. You can just go there, everything is updated, ready to use, available all the time. All you need to do is to pay for one seat. It will be $5, $10 per month, some very nominal charge. And that is then available for everyone in your organization. And it is updated, you don't have to do anything. They'll keep updating and bringing the latest software. Again, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to add it to somebody's phone because the app is already updated. And it covers all forms and all options of the features that you might need. So whether it is email or a CRM or a payment or a billing or accounting or even people management. Nowadays, cloud platforms like Zoho or Google Suite or Microsoft Suite, they have all this inbuilt into the overall platform. So it has become super easy. Instead of paying a lot of money to a software vendor developing it, most of us can just start off with what's available off the shelf. Yeah.
Okay. Digital public goods, people say India is a third world country. You drive on our roads and there are potholes and the payment is not made, and a lot of it is true. But when it comes to technology, we are actually a first world country. The technology stack that we have in our country is the best in the world. We probably compare with like a China or like an Israel. We are far ahead of US and Europe when it comes to our tech stack. What the government has done has built a complete infrastructure of technology on top of which we can create our applications. What do I mean by infrastructure of technology? Suppose you want to start a factory in a remote location, right? The government says, okay, I'll build a road for you so you can go there. I'll draw the electrical wire so you get power. I'll get you water, so water is available. So I'm creating the entire infra for you. Now you take a plot of land and start building your factory and sell whatever you want and do whatever you want to do. It's exactly the same thing in case of digital. The government has built an infrastructure, be it the DigiYatra, be it the Aadhaar app, be it Bhashini, which allows translation in real time in so many languages, or be it Sanjeevani, or now they're building something in the area of medicals like Abha, which will store all our records. The government has built a great infrastructure. On top of this infrastructure, you can actually create a business model. So if you're running a business, you need to go back and see what part of this digital infrastructure can you use or leverage for doing either a user authentication or a payment collection mechanism, or using one of those free services in some fashion, or even exploring new business models. So India has a fabulous digital public infrastructure. We need to find a way how to leverage it for our individual businesses.
On that, I would like to add,
Yeah, please.
imagine the large businesses that have come across in the last few years in the startup space, right? Whether you take PhonePe, whether you take Flipkart, whether you take recent apps which are based on Swiggy, Zomato, all of these were possible because of digital public infrastructure in some way, right? It was UPI, it was ONDC, it was the regulatory rails that were established for fintech. All of these things were possible, eKYC, Aadhaar-based authentication, DigiLocker, every single big innovation startup that has happened in the last 10 years has a significant part played by digital public goods. So that is how companies have leveraged and gone from small startups which started at zero to now unicorns, right? So this is a big area which is very underappreciated, I would say, because it is such world-class infrastructure that we don't realize how good we have it and how much it can help a small or a medium enterprise at this stage. So please go through, spend maybe a day just understanding what the government has already made for you, and then how to leverage it and leapfrog your competitors using these technologies.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, something like Aadhaar, no country in the world has anything equivalent to Aadhaar that we have in India. Countries in Western have tried to do it and they've failed each time. But when the entire COVID was happening, our country, everything was digital, getting your appointment and certificate. In US, they were writing on chits of paper. So you can imagine who's first world and who's third world when it comes to technology. The next is manufacturing efficiency. How can IT or digital help manufacturing efficiency? I presume a lot of you are from the manufacturing field. And for various things like security, surveillance, predictive maintenance, industrial process automation, a lot of stuff can happen using digital. I'll share quickly two examples that came to my mind. One was a very large company which is like a chip manufacturer, and they have a lot of inventory. Now the challenge is they used to have a person going around doing the inventory and punching it with hand. Now when you punch with hand, you may end up making a mistake. Okay, you are seeing there are 4 units, you ended up punching 3 by mistake. So they build a voice-based application. Now when this guy goes around looking for inventory, he doesn't punch, he just keeps calling out. ये 3 है, ये 4 है, ये 5 है, ये 8 है, and the system is automatically recording at the back end, ensuring that the gap between what I saw and what I punched completely goes away. Plus it brings more efficiency. It's far easier to keep talking than to keep punching. To me, a great application of digital to bring in efficiency. Another was an example of a warehouse. Imagine you have a large warehouse with lots of stuff lying all over the place, and you go and pick up one item, right? It's not easy going to the computer, searching which rack number, where, then somebody goes there. Instead, they created like an AR, VR glasses. You feed the glasses, put on the glasses, it will show you exactly the track that go to this cabinet here and pick up the good. Just take a forklift, just follow it and come back. Again, bringing in more and more efficiency into the system and less chance of error. So plenty and plenty of applications that can be used using digital as far as manufacturing sector is concerned. The last point on the agenda is use of new age technology. So lots of new age technologies are coming, and the definition of new age technology changes every morning, because what was new yesterday is already obsolete and we're talking of something new. But I will talk of some few technologies. One is, of course, using video-based tutorials for skill training. Any new person joins an organization, the person needs to be trained. And HR has no time to train, and the people on the job have no time to train. So you end up with untrained people who kind of learn on the job and at some point of time become valuable to the organization. However, if you can convert all your training in the form of video tutorials, and using artificial intelligence, it is so easy to create those tutorials. You can actually make the person go through all the tutorials, ask him questions at the end of each tutorial to be sure he has got the idea, and he'll be now 90% ready to come up to the shop floor. It saves everybody's time. Okay, so interesting example. The second is an example of AR, VR. Exactly like I said, let us say you are running an oil refinery. You want to train people on firefighting. How do you train them, right? You can't light a fire and ask people to get trained. It's very risky. But using an AR, VR environment, you can simulate a fire. The person puts on glasses, he gets a feel there is fire around. And now he's learning how to fight fire in a simulated environment. Today, when people are trained in military, they don't get trained in combat. They actually get trained using simulation. You create an environment where a person behaves in a certain fashion, and the training can happen. Some great applications of AR, VR. Blockchain, blockchain keeps being looked as a very esoteric technology. Okay, blockchain ka kya kaam aayega? I was surprised to see a fabulous application by the government of Maharashtra in blockchain. I attended some seminar and there was a secretary speaking. He was saying that all our warehouses, the challenge we used to have is people come and put material in the warehouse. We issue a bill of lading or whatever receipt. You take it to the bank for discounting. One, it takes time. By the time you put the material, you get an authorized copy, you go to the bank, it takes time. And B, we used to see frauds. How can the bank be sure that receipt hai to maal bhi pada hai? The banker has to go and verify. He's saying we put the application in blockchain. Now, the moment you check in your material into our warehouse, a receipt is generated using blockchain. Blockchain cannot be tampered. And in real time, you can submit this to your bank and the bank will say, okay, take the money away. Like a fabulous application of blockchain. So we need to understand, digital transformation or power of technology must do one of the three things for you. Either it should help you increase your business, like digital marketing, or it should help you reduce your cost, be it cloud computing, manufacturing, new technology, or it should allow you to create a new innovation, like digital public infrastructure. You should always think in one of these three buckets that why am I using digital? Where is it going to be helping me? Chatbots, of course, have become very common, almost to the extent of becoming very irritating. I mean, try to go to an airline and talk to somebody, unless you have struggled with a chatbot, they won't pretty much let you through a human person. One example of artificial intelligence, this is something that we did for a company in Sweden, where they were transporting a lot of building material, and building material of different type. There is stone and gravel and sand of different sizes, and there's like a continuous flow coming in. And they had to find a way to ensure that the right truck gets routed to the right location. So you build an AI application using a camera which scans every truck from the top as soon as the truck crosses the entry point. As soon as it scans, it's able to decide that what is the material inside the truck. And it knows where is the requirement. It will immediately instruct the truck driver to go to that particular bin almost in real time. So error is reduced and larger efficiency. This is the picture from that, how it was taking pictures and routing the truck. Anything you want to add, Harish?
The big point in new age technologies I would like to make is technology is your friend. Do not be afraid. Do not worry about what it will do, what it will not do. The only way to learn these, especially as Harish said, it changes every week, every day. The only way to learn about it is to try. So if you find some platforms that you like, some tools that you like, the only way to do it is plunge right in, sign up, create an account and start using it. Do not wait for, tutorials and people to come and tell you how to do. Just jump in. These are all made to be very, very user friendly. Whether it is AI or usage of AR, VR, you can learn them by just trying to do them. So my humble request on all of these things is technology is your friend. Find the right resource which we can help you. Plunge in with your team. Try it out and trust me, they are so easy and intuitive that you will learn them in a week. So just try.
Yeah. So we told you a lot of things to do. We'll also tell you what not to do. Just yesterday I was with a manufacturing company. They're into manufacturing of spindles for spinning. And their SEO agency has guided them that we need to create a page on Tumblr, Pinterest, Twitter, and one more platform. And it's like, why? You know, so don't try to do everything. Do something very limited. I mean, for example, Twitter. If you're a B2B business, you actually have no business to be on Twitter unless you have an iconic brand or some great thought leadership. You know, so don't spread the butter too thin. Pick up some substantial things and do it well. Okay. Similarly,
on that one particularly, I have a simple answer to which platform to pick. Right? You have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, then Threads, and then Pinterest. There are so many platforms where you can be present. Just think about who's your target audience and where do they congregate. I'll repeat. Who's your target audience? Where do they congregate? If your target audience is young, male, professional, white collar, they get together on LinkedIn, just focus on LinkedIn. If your target audience is 30 to 40 women, professional, working in cities, focus on Instagram. Just think about where your target audience comes together on their own and target that platform.
Yeah. The second thing is be careful trying to build a consumer app. You know, so many people I speak to, ek app banate hum log. I mean, it's so difficult to market an app, you know. So don't even think of these things like, let me make an app and start going. I mean, to get into the consumer's phone, it's going to require you lakhs and lakhs of rupees to be able to get there. So you should build an app if you have a business application in-house. Say, for example, a large manufacturing company, you want to create like a maintenance schedule where notifications can come to your team members. I mean, try to use WhatsApp. It's the best way, and pretty much everything can happen on WhatsApp nowadays. Or think of building like an in-house app. But don't get into building consumer apps. Very, very difficult to market, you know. And my third message always for anybody, you know, small, medium businesses, focus on sales. Digital will give you business. Brand to build karna hi hai, lekin focus on sales. Google, LinkedIn, absolutely drivers of sales, engine for sales. That's it from me. I think we completed before the bell rang, which is an achievement. Harish, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Harish ji. A big hand for you. We are here. You can get our contacts from the chambers. We are happy to answer questions. But again, I'll repeat one last thing, which is technology is your friend. These are digital employees available to work for you 24/7, 365 days a year. Content is your friend. Take it as helpers that will help you grow your business. And the second thing, which is very important, this was a tasting menu. Right? This was more like, these are all the things that are possible. Now, it is impossible to cover this even in a week. Right? There's so much, like just LinkedIn branding can be a 2-day workshop. Just AI can be a full week workshop. So this is just a tasting menu. You know what is possible. Now, if there is interest, we'll float a survey and we'll figure out what topics are most useful, most relevant to all of you. This is in your service. So once we hear back, we can create more programs through the year with Sandeep ji's help, and we can deliver more of these sessions for you. So thanks for the opportunity and hope that this excites you and interests you to become more digital. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that insightful discussion. I would like to request Pinky Mehta, President Bombay Chamber and CFO Aditya Birla Capital Limited, to please present the mementos to our presenters as a token of appreciation. Harish Narayanan, CMO and CDO, HDFC Asset Management Company Limited. And Harish Tibrewala, CEO, Anhad Consultancy Services.